Well, buddy boy, so you want to play Corrin, huh? Well, tell me, what reason could you possibly have for wanting to main them? You a big fan of the Fire Emblem games? No. Did you see that Byleth reveal? I don't think there's a single Fire Emblem fan in the entire Smash Bros. Community. So could it be her one-of-a-kind special moves that make for a really unique playstyle? Perhaps, but I don't think so. No, me thinks you're playing her because of her big, stinky feet. Looks like we found our answer, haven't we? Hey, that's fine. No shame here. No matter what your reason is, you're here. So how's about I show you the ropes so that you can have a foot up on the competition, huh? Wait, no, a leg. Fuck! So what is Corrin? Is she a dragon or a human? Is she a sword fighter or just a brawler with really long spear arms? Is she a scaly, or is it okay that I can't stop staring at her feet? These are questions that I'm sure we're all asking ourselves. But in cases such as these, sometimes it's not so much about asking why as it is about asking Well, first off, she's half dragon, half human because basically everyone in the royal family in those games has dragon blood coursing through their veins, which one would think would be the result of the most painful STD to ever be contracted, but in reality it just means they have animorph powers. So anyway, that's something I'll have to look into. As for the kink thing, jury's still out on that one. But in terms of the second question, well, that's an important one. Now, from what I've gathered from playing this character, Corrin likes to operate in a little space that I will affectionately refer to as the bitch zone. This is that weird little in-between point where you aren't really close enough to your opponent to be able to reach out and touch him, but not far away enough where you can safely fire off a projectile without being punished. And there are plenty of reasons why this area is the best spot for Corrin to be in, but really there are two attacks that exemplify why it's so important, and that's this guy and this guy. We'll save this one for later. For now, let's focus on that first attack, Corrin's side special, because it's kind of the bread and butter of, like, her entire character. So this move has three main components to it: the hop, the pin, and the flick. First off, input the move on the ground to get Corrin to do a little playground-looking ass hopscotch jump. If you're already in the air, then inputting the move is just gonna skip you right to step 2, which is most definitely not reminiscent of a playground maneuver, because Corrin then turns her arm into a fucking lance and plants it in the ground like an Olympic javelin thrower who puts somebody else's piss in their test cup. Once firmly planted in the ground, you are then left with a choice marked by the third step of this process, the flick, which I will explain by returning to my playground analogy. Imagine you are a fully grown adult on a swing set, and the local neighborhood child bully has just walked in front of your swing. Now, adult life may typically be filled with a great many difficult decisions, but this is not typical adult life. You are currently operating under swing rules, of which there are 4. You can go forward full throttle and run the kid down. You can breeze right past him and absolutely steamroll them on the backswing. You can take off right above the kid's head, launch yourself into the air, and let gravity do its work as you hit the little fucker with the sickest pile drive this playground has ever seen. Or you can simply stop your momentum and get off the swing before you absolutely obliterate a child with your much larger adult body. Now, obviously, these all have their own benefits, so no one option is always going to be the best one. I mean, I can certainly tell you which one would be the coolest, but honestly, I've been talking about swings for a while now, and we all know that child is getting completely fucking wrecked, so I'm gonna talk about these moves and what options they open up for Corrin's character. But before I do that, I should remind you that, much like lining up your shot to make sure that bully gets their just desserts, timing is important. Activate the move too early, and your enemy knows what you're doing and can punish you for it. Activate it too late, and your opponent is gonna attack you before you can make any decision, and you're gonna be left looking like some idiot with 2 left feet. Wow. I mean, they are kind of nice. Not the point. Moving on. Point is, you need to know the right time to do it. With that said, most of Corrin's attacks sweet spot at the tip of her spears. And with this move in particular, it results in your opponent being pinned to the ground and completely immobilized, which allows you to hit them much more easily. With that reminder out of the way, let's talk about the forward input. So this move not only charges Corrin right towards her opponent, dealing damage as she soars through the air, but it also puts her right in the front line, so she can start hitting him with some aerial strings and grab combos. For example, down tilt and up throw can lead into some fun strings with neutral aerial, forward aerial, and up aerial, which, alongside that up throw, also have solid kill potential. And on top of this, you have forward throw and back throw, which get your opponent off the stage so you can style on them like a real gamer. But if none of those options seem like the right play, it may be time to lay back and play it cool. The backwards input, which also damages your opponents on the swing, can work as a defensive tool to smack those ever so aggressive in-your-face players in the teeth so you can get back onto the other side of the stage and start spamming them with moves like your neutral special, which is not only a great spacing tool to keep your enemies from rushing in head on, but also the longer you charge it, the longer it paralyzes your enemies if it hits them, leaving them wide open for a nice firm bitch slap. And while charging the projectile, you're also charging a big-ass dragon vor mouth that not only brings me closer to the conclusion that maybe those feet hold secrets kinkier than I could even imagine, but also it can chomp down on your opponents to deal some massive ouchie points. Next up on the list is the upward input. Now this move sends Corrin into the air, which is a great setup to then zone your opponent out with some aerials, but the move also acts as a great mix-up. So alternatively, as your opponent watches you fall back onto the ground, they may look to try and get an attack out on you, which creates a perfect opportunity for you to don the full scaly suit as you bash their heads in with your counter. counter. And let me tell you, this one is known far and wide in the Smash community as one of the really good counters, so when you do get a hit off of it, get ready for some pretty solid returns. Now, to finish things up, let's talk about the down input. This move is also a pretty good fake out, and in this specific case, it's really nice because if your opponent thinks that you're gonna come swinging at them at top speeds, they're probably gonna try to avoid the move by shielding, rolling, or jumping out of the way. And since you're on the ground and not hurling yourself at your opponent like a fucking tetherball, you can respond to one of those 3 options with one of your 3 smash attacks. And what do you know? Up smash is great against jumping opponents, down smash is great against rolling opponents, and hey, do you remember this move from earlier? Yeah, well, if you hadn't already noticed, it's really fucking long, which means that it can take out opponents from a really long distance, which is great not just against shielding opponents, but also in pressuring opponents and in edge guarding. It takes up like a third of the fucking map, so just do something with it because it's absolutely ridiculous. And of course, all of these moves were explained through the scope of Corrin's side special, but obviously you don't need to use this move to set up into these every single time. But for the most part, they all work best in the situations that I explained. So, with all of that in mind, you know just about everything you need to in order to effectively play this character. So now all you gotta do is train hard, troll harder, and remember that if after all of that you still aren't able to win, well, at least your character is still the winner on wikifeet.com. Alright, I'll admit that one was kinda weird. Is this becoming a legitimate problem? Wait, show me your feet again. I wanna see. Oh yeah, it's a problem. Okay, wait, switch it to the dude? No, that's not helping either. You know what? I'm just gonna quit while I'm a foot. Wait, no, a head. God fuck. Hey guys, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to subscribe because I make a new one every single Monday. I also have a Facebook, a Twitter, a Patreon, and a Discord, so if you want to support me in any of those ways, please do. Links in the description, and links to my Discord and Patreon in the comments. Speaking of Patreon, thank you to all the people on the screen right now. You are all the best, and I would kiss you all on the forehead if I could, but unfortunately, we are social distancing. Now, before I go, which of the 2 characters on the screen do you want to see in my next video? Let me know in the comments below, or in my Discord, and I'll get it done. So thank you guys again, and I will see you next time. Bye!